Now, education can be very interesting. I get to school and I feel so sad. Yes, very sad. Not because I don't like school, but because the educators that handle me in school believe I don't belong there. For example, my teacher of mathematics gets into class and tells me that I have no future just because I don't understand concepts of mathematics. The science teacher tells me that I will never do anything better because I get low grades in science. School becomes so boring. School looks like prison to me. How many of students go through such things? They forget that there is a student in class that made it to the school team, football. There's that student in class that was the best in public speaking. There's that student that is just so good with solving problems, encouraging one another. How many times are we going to bury such kind of talent, such kind of capabilities, all in the name of teachers? I want to talk about teachers. I want to talk with teachers. I being one of them, as an educator, I think we need to change the way we look at our students. We need to start judging our students. We need to stop condemning our students and just look at them as any other institution. If we are talking about learning, learning is just simply a change of behavior positively, that a student has learned something. Now, if we are going to judge students based on the grades, based on how well they can write, we are getting it wrong. We need to change. We need to have these things done differently. Now, you realize that the talent of such students are killed every single day by people who are actually educated. We need to stop looking at students based on how well their grades are. We need to stop this because there's that student who just needs encouragement and who tells you that they're not doing well. Maybe it is your methodology. Some teachers have always believed in chalk and talk. Some teachers have believed in projects. But what if we looked at each and every student and we came up with methodology that fits an individual? I know most of you will argue, what if I have over 40 students in class? It doesn't matter. The function of a learning institution is for learning to take place. So however much time it's going to take you to prepare and identify exactly a methodology that will fit an individual, then so be it. Do it. Let's get to know our student at individual level. Let's talk to them. Let's get to know. Let's do this research. Let's just take our time. We spend a lot of time making lesson plans, planning, looking for different materials for lessons, but we don't care. In most situations, we don't care to know whether the method that we are going to use to teach these learners is going to be appropriate to all of them. There's that student who is just waiting for you to challenge him and tell him, are you able to go and just cut out a triangle for me? He's just waiting for you to tell him to go and model a triangle for you. But you're here telling the student that, this is the base of a triangle and this is the height and everything. That student is not getting you. Come down to his level. Get to know how he learns. We all learn differently. If only educators, because I call them educators, and those who guide in education, I stopped calling them teachers because teaching is not equal to learning. And therefore, we need also to stop teaching and start learning with our learners. This is briefly what I want to talk about today, that we need to understand students at their level. Different curriculums, beautiful lesson plans, beautiful schemes of work. But at the end of the day, how many of you have had this question from students? Is it going to come in an exam? Is this going to be set in an exam? This is a common question just because we do not teach these children how to learn. We need to start teaching children how to learn. We need to start teaching them how to actually get the knowledge and use it in their day-to-day life. Most students go to school because their parents, their teachers expect them to pass exams. And therefore, everything that teachers take to class they wait to upload it on the paper during assessment. And after that, for them, that is done. So if you get an A, you're a good student. And teachers, sorry to say this, but some teachers judge students based on good and bad, based on how many marks or what grades they have gotten. So if you get a C, you're labeled a bad student. If you get an A, you're labeled a good student. Now, what if I wake up one day and I'm feeling unwell, and you give me an exam and I get a C? Is that enough to judge me and say that I'm a bad student? We need to stop this. Educators out there, let us change the way we do things. I know, especially in Africa, we borrowed this. We borrowed these methodologies. But we need to start thinking. It is no longer those Stone Age. We need to start thinking otherwise, thinking out of the box. Are our African students, African children, going to compete out there if they are still conditioned and made to do things a certain way? We have to allow our children to explore. We have to allow them to learn at their pace. And therefore, we need to do things differently. With all due respect to administrators in any learning institutions, we need to have realistic objective, realistic intentions that we give to our teachers, the educators. Because sometimes they're very good teachers with very good intentions, but because the administrators, I call them the bosses, expects a certain way of results, or they expect a certain way of performance, which is good. I believe in performance, I believe in results. But sometimes we need to forget about the results and focus on the learners themselves. We are so much overwhelmed about this results thing and how the school A has performed vis-a-vis school B, how student A has performed vis-a-vis student B, but we give very little attention to actually the main thing, which is learning. How much has student A learned? How much has student B learned? That is the most important thing for me as an educator. I don't care how much or how many A's a class has gotten. I care about how many students are transformed positively for better future. That is the most important thing for me. Many people have gotten A's. Many people have gotten very good grades, but they can't even reason. They can't even have a conversation. They can't even do a proper write-up. But on paper, they have very good grades, very good degrees, PhDs. But they can't just hold a normal conversation. These are skills that if someone is equipped with, then together with that little or much academic knowledge, they're able to move their lives from step 1 to step 2. Therefore, we need to focus more on life skills, on individual students, on their strengths, and pull them up. Remember, you look at the improvement. So for me, I want to see a student who could not speak up start speaking. A student who could not come out and ask you a question, start asking you questions. A student who could not correct you as a teacher stands up and tells you, teacher, I thought it was supposed to be this and this and this, and you take it positively. For me, the day I achieve that in my society, I will call myself a successful man. And as an educator, I am glued to this route, and I'm not going to get back until I achieve the objective. The objective is we have to start learning together with our learners, where we can challenge one another, we can reason together. With all due respect, I would want to positively criticize the curriculums that do such kind of injustice to our learners.